Thanks everyone for coming on behalf of our beloved community. And we are all working together to make it more beloved. So let's start. We already have quorum. Thank you everyone for that. And let's start immediately with our city and state monthly reports. Honolulu Fire Department. Please come to the microphone. Thank you.
Okay, good evening. I'm Captain Ryan Oki from the Haula Fire Station, and I'll be giving you January stats for the Kaaba, Haula, and Kuku stations combined, as well as the fire safety tip for the month of February. So for January, we responded to 1 structure fire, 6 activated alarms, and we did not respond to any brush nuisance or cooking fires. We responded to 44 medical emergencies. And our fire safety tip for February is HFD reminds the public to call 911 if you need an emergency. We do not advise you to drive to a station nearest your location. It's very possible that the fire company will not be at the station due to being on alarm or other emergencies or performing other duties such as inspections, training. When you call 911, the operator will dispatch the closest available fire company to your emergency. Remember when calling 911 to give the operator your initial need, police, fire, EMS, and after you've been transferred to the appropriate agency, an accurate description of your need and your address/location. The HFD is also able to field 911 text messages if you find yourself in a spot where you do not have a good reception or voice communication, such as hiking. Texting your emergency may go through, basically. And other than that, any questions for me?
Any questions for our captain here? From the board, from community members, from online? Okay, well, thank you very much. Oh, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Just a comment. That seems like a lot of medical emergencies.
Actually, that's kind of low.
Really?
Yeah, it's usually in the 50 or 60s. But that's between 3 stations, yeah. So yeah, it's between Kava, Haula, and Kuku. So we add them up for olauloa. So that is actually a little low.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to our police department. Welcome.
Aloha board and members of the audience. I'm Lieutenant Sanford Yu. I'm one of your night watch lieutenants for District 4. I present the January stats to you. Motor vehicle thefts, previous month was 7, went down to 0. Burglaries the previous month were 3, went down to 1. Thefts increased from 7 to 8. Motor vehicle break-ins decreased from 4 to 1. And robberies went from 0 to 2. I'm willing to answer any questions at this time.
Any questions for our police department? Go ahead, Ben. Oh, could you use the mic, please?
Aloha, where was the robberies at?
That was the 7-Eleven out in, I believe it was Haula.
Aloha.
Any other question? Online or present here? All right, well, thank you very much.
District 4 continues to be one of the safest districts on the island. It's a
Yeah,
very good
good
place to
job,
live.
and thank you very much. We
Good night.
appreciate you guys coming every time. Thank you. Do we have a representative from the United States Army online or present? No? Okay. So we're going to go on to our government reports now. The board endorsed a new format, which we've tried maybe 3 times so far, and it seems to be fairly popular with the board and with many other people in the community. I think what the only thing that really makes it work is this. We're going to have the government representatives do their presentations all in a row, and then we save the questions for last. But the only way that works is if our government representatives please stay on the line for the duration. Okay? And I think part of the value of this is you all get to hear each other talk, and then maybe you have an opportunity to answer with a few people who may have a question that's relevant to several of you. So the second thing that makes it work is if you have a question at the end of this, do two things. Identify who you're directing the question to, and then ask your question. So thank you very much. Let's start with, is Kat here? Mayor Rick Blanchiardi's representative. Hi, Kat.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I have some updates from the mayor's newsletter and then one update about the 311 system, and then I'll jump into the one departmental question from last month. First, this month's highlights from the mayor's newsletter. The Kahuku District Park's proposed renovations are under consideration. Celebrating Black History Month in Honolulu. The Honolulu Fire Department celebrates 175 years of service. The brand new Ocean Safety Department has a new deputy chief, Jimmy Barros. There is a new off-leash dog park opening in Makiki, and there is a new UV system that protects Kailua waters. And so the February 2026 edition of the mayor's newsletter can be found online, and I will drop a link in the chat. The next update. On Monday, December 1st, the city launched a new and improved HNL 311 system, which our residents can use to report issues in their communities that need to be fixed or addressed by the city. Residents can submit requests for service via the HNL 311 mobile app, which is available on Apple or Android devices, or by using the website hnl311.com. The new HNL 311 system is more intuitive and easier to navigate, which means it's never been easier for residents to submit requests for service to the city. On the city's end, the new system makes it easier for our departments to track and respond to the issues that have been reported. Once an issue has been reported, it goes directly to the department that's responsible for that type of request. And if users are registered for an account, they will get notified whenever there is a status update to their request. The city can only fix the issues and solve the problems that we know about. So instead of taking a video of a broken sink and posting it to Instagram, snap a couple of photos and let us know by submitting an HNL 311 request. All right, last month I had there was a request to DPP to pause on any variance requests from windmill developers and to pause the building of new windmills in the Kahuku community. DPP reports. The Department of Planning and Permitting is not processing a zoning variance request for any windmill developers at the present time. Any applications relating to wind energy will be processed in accordance with, and I'll drop this in the chat so you have a section reference. And you can have the code sections at the link, but nothing's being processed at present. Those are my updates from last month, and I'll stand by on the line and see if there's any additional questions for next month.
Thank you, Kat. I really appreciate that. Moving on to Councilmember Matt Wires, staff. Chelsea.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Can you hear
Chelsea.
me? Okay, perfect. Just wanted to give you a quick legislative update. So I'm going to read this straight from our newsletter. Shameless plug, if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter already, please do so. You can always do that at council members page at the city council website. So Bill 4 2026 reads, I have co-introduced Bill 4 2026 with Councilmember Val Ukimoto to strengthen the city's incentives for the construction of affordable rental housing projects. While the city's existing pre-construction subsidy and post-construction grant programs were designed to support these projects, current monetary amounts are not keeping up with the rising costs of construction. Bill 4 updates. Bill 4 updates these incentives to help offer higher construction costs, support smaller projects, and encourage the development of larger 2- and 3-bedroom units, which address a critical community need. Bill 4 passed its first reading at the January Full Council meeting and has been referred to the Zoning and Planning Committee, although it has not been assigned a hearing or anything anytime soon. So just giving you that as an update. And then another one, Bill 54, which was the bus fare increase. So this reads, Bill 54, 2025 passed third reading during the January Full Council meeting by a 6-3 vote and will increase bus fares, including higher costs for monthly and annual passes, youth passes, visitor passes, handy van rides, and an added fee for cash payments. I voted no, or council member, but I'm reading this from the newsletter. Council member voted no on Bill 54 because raising the bus fares place a real financial burden on working families who rely on public transportation. More than half of the bus riders do not own a car, and the bus is not optional for them. Additionally, this increase will only generate about $4 million, a fraction of the city's budget, but would be felt by our local families in a very real way. So but council members vote no, reflects my commitment to protecting affordability and quality of life. So that is the update from our newsletter. I will be on standby for any questions.
Thank you, Chelsea. Appreciate that. Do we have a representative from Councilwoman Jill Takuta's office? No. Erica notified me that she's ill today. She'll have a full report following up on the last meeting and this meeting when she watches it next time. State Senator Brenton Awa or staffer. Do we have a representative? Yep, there we go. Hi, Brenton.
Doing. Sorry, wasn't sure when I was gonna go. I didn't have the agenda. Out here right now spraying our trees in Haleiwa. It's been a busy legislative session, killed some bills, passed some bills. You guys can ask me about that. I'll be on the line after this if you're interested in the session. Our Kahalu Food Tree Project turned 2 years old. We reached the anniversary. We started giving out most of our ulu out there. For anybody who doesn't know, I'll just run it back. 2 years ago, we planted 70 ulu and mountain apple trees. Most of the ulu trees are already giving. Not only are they giving ulu, they're giving their branches to be replanted in other areas. One of those areas that we want to plant some of the trees that we air layered is Haula Beach Park. We hope that, and I reached out to Councilmember Wire. We hope he can help us get that. The city right now, it's real iffy when it comes to planting food, but we set a good example. They've recognized it, and so we hope that we can work with them to cross that bridge and bring this out to olauloa, specifically Haula. We got one out here in Haleiwa. Kahalu one, like I said, is doing well. That one's actually up over 300 trees now, and we're trying to get more in over there. It's been so successful. And then right down, and you know, I know I'm telling about Kahalu stuff, but it really affects our whole coastline. Our Genki Ball project, we had a pilot project that lasted 6 months. It completed at the end of January. It was with the 4 schools out there, and we were going to stop it. There was criticism. There was a lot of support, but there was also criticism. HPU was among those. And right before it ended, the Blue Water Task Force reached back out to us and was like, "Hey, this is the cleanest water we've seen in a while." So they're going over the data. We've yet to get it from them. We'll release that as soon as we get it. But because of that outlook, Castle Foundation jumped back on and they extended the project for another year. And the canoe club right over there is going to steward it. We'll help them. We're trying to transition it to the community. Again, that's something that we want to bring down to Punaluu area as well. It's just a matter of getting people on board. So if anybody's motivated after hearing this or seeing what we're doing, feel free to reach out to our office. We have a short staff, but we can manage projects with the community's help. Those 2 things. Was there anything else? Shoot, there was one more thing I was supposed to tell you guys, but I'm in like 3 meetings right now. I apologize, but I'll be on for questions if you guys have it.
Thank you, Brenton. Nice work. And if you wouldn't mind sticking around until after Sean Quinlan's presentation.
Yep.
For any follow-up questions. Okay, awesome. Sean Quinlan or staffer? Are you on the line?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Hi.
Aloha, everyone.
Hi,
So,
Lucy.
Hi.
Want to
So
introduce yourself?
Representative, yes. So hi, I'm Lucy. I am his legislative staff and committee clerk. Representative would like to apologize that he could not make it tonight, but he is planning for a strong legislative session. So as you may have all known, Representative is introducing a telone ban, which has been linked with health concerns. And after speaking with many public health officials and universities, we have found out that it is related to cancer risk at all. And he wishes for stronger protections for the communities near farms and schools. And it has passed this first reading with agriculture and environmental protection, and we hope for it to pass the second reading. As many of you also know, a private development is being built as a tourist gondola near Mount Kaala, and Representative wishes to continue serving a cultural significant site and sacred mountain area. and to protect the sacredness, environmental ecosystem of endangered species and prevent traffic that would affect community members from going to work or school, he introduced House Bill 1881, which would prohibit passenger ropeways on all mountain lands across the state. Representative is also happy to announce that he is teaming up with Tangata Moana Hui Foundation, which is a coalition of community health workers that connects Pacific and local communities with resources, events, partnerships across, and human services. Rather than just direct clinical care, the foundation supports outreach activities such as public health fairs, resource drives, and culturally grounded community events. And after many meetings, we're hoping to bring some of those programs out. And I am happy to report the foundation is also built upon Native Hawaiians and Native Americans as well, who have masters and PhDs in public health. As well as after the message I received about many not hearing from Catholic Charities, our office contacted Catholic Charities, and the report is that numerous community members that had applied for rental, utility, and mortgage assistance during the government shutdown they received an overwhelming amount. Over 12,000 applications were received, which is more than the charity expected. And they have shared their email address and phone number to contact directly about applications. And I will put in the instructions that were provided by us. We did tell them that it was crucial for our community to hear a response as quick as possible. So thank you for your time, and I'll be here for any questions.
Thank you, Lucy. That's the end of our government representatives' reports. So opening it up first to members of the board who may have questions, please. So please tell us who you're directing the question to and present your question. Thank you.
Sean Quinlan's.
Lucy?
Lucy.
Yes.
Hi, I wasn't clear on the public health program you're talking about, Lucy. Is that something that Sean is advocating for, and it will be located in this area? Or how is that going to work?
Yes.
We're very
so
open
current-
to adding health programs here in Hauula to the Hauula Civic Center. So I'm very curious.
So we have been speaking with them about hopefully bringing in more care. And as you know, we also introduced the safe staffing, nurse staffing bill. So hopefully, currently we're still in the talks about it, but I am proud to announce that they are really working hard for this. And not to kind of I guess not to like put it out there, but one of the directors is actually a dear professor of mine who I am working with as well for my master's of public health. So she is one of the best people out there to know about public health.
I really still don't understand. How are they going to, if they get their way to do this, how are they going to implement the program here in Olauloa?
The meeting just happened yesterday. It's still a
Oh.
series of meetings.
Okay.
I will ask representative and get back to you on
Okay.
that. We're still going through the talks about it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lucy. Allegra?
Sorry, Lucy, can you just, with that same, who are you talking to? Is it a foundation or is it a group or?
It is Tangata Moana Hui Foundation.
Tangata, is that what you said?
How do you spell that?
Tangata.
There you go.
Moana Foundation. Okay, thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions from the board? Ben?
This is a couple questions. Aloha, Ben Schaefer. This is regarding the road at Kualoa. Well, now we have that exciting.
Who are you directing your question to?
I am directing it to the City and County of Honolulu.
Okay.
Both the mayor's office as well as the council person's office. I'm also directing at the state, the governor's representative, as well as Brenton and Sean, right?
So all of
Okay,
you.
so we have this issue over there with the water supply, the road, the water main break, whatever it was. They repaired it, but they did such a junk job and they couldn't even make it level. Who does that kind of stuff? So I called city and county. I mean, I called it state. State said, "Well, we have nothing to do. We don't know what it is." And so I called the city and county, the water supply, and they have a contractor that they're going to work with to repair it. My question is, and I talked to Samantha about that the other day. I said, you folks should know everything what's going on the highway. And if you don't know what this is, then how can you be helpful to the public if you don't know what's going on? Number one. And number two, that they should be coordinating these things so that that thing is repaired in just 24 hours or 48 hours at the most. It should not take that long to make it level. You have that big steamer thing, come bring it down, make it level, and that should be good for now until they fix it. The other issue is that the bridge over here that was brought up many, many times about it sinking. Samantha said that they're working on it, but I said, well, it keeps going down because they keep filling it up and it keeps going down. So we don't want to wait until it falls all the way in. Can you folks do something about it, check on it? And so she's going to get back with me on that. Thank you.
And is there a
Okay,
particular
so-
question or follow-up you'd like from our
So
reps?
my question is, can the city and county of Honolulu, Board of Water Supply, and the DOT coordinate whatever is going on the highway so that they're all on the same page? So they can fix things within a reasonable time? Because I think 3 weeks, right, Dottie? 3 weeks? 3 weeks is unacceptable. 3 weeks is really unacceptable. So city
Ben,
and county, you first.
Senator,
just jump in a quick
Brenton,
one.
did you want to respond? Go ahead.
Wait,
Go ahead,
Brenton.
Brenton.
I did talk, sorry, thank you. I did talk a week ago at the Capitol. As you know, it's a Board of Water issue. The problem, why it's taking so long, is because they have to request and get money approved, and that hasn't happened yet. So there was no timeline that he could give to us, but that's the holdup. It wasn't put in, the project, when it happened, when the break happened, they didn't put it in as emergency, and that caused a problem.
Go ahead.
Okay,
follow up.
thank you for the response, Brenton. It's still yet, they need to figure out on how, if the state can do it faster for this particular item, have the state do it, and then build a city on it, or build water, but they need to coordinate this so that it's done quickly. 3 weeks is too darn long, 2 days should be suffice. City and county, who's on the thing for, the mayor's office? Mayor's office?
Ben, could you identify the two locations you're talking about again for Anson?
Kualoa, when across from the just above the maintenance joint, city and county maintenance joint, going to town. Right. It is really bad.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any response from our Lucy or Kat at this point? And if not, if you can follow up next time.
I
I'll-
actually did. So sorry. We have been in contact, and I did get in touch yesterday with the state, with DOT, and they said that they will begin, but that part of it belongs to the city, so they would contact the city immediately for emergency.
Okay. Thank you, Lucy. Kat, were you going to say something? Or?
I was just going to say that I'll pass this request on to DTS.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. And Ben.
Oh,
go ahead.
and while I'm on the bridge would you mind providing the location so that I can pass that on to the appropriate department as well?
Sure, we'll do that. I'll get it in my email and send it to you.
Great, thank you.
That's the mayor's office, right?
And
Okay.
also send it to Anson too, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. So, part of that is that we need to start coordinating the three on the highway when things happen, that everybody is on the same page, deciding who's going to do it, when they're going to do it, and how fast can they respond to. It was in a big hole. I mean, it was in a big area. It was just a hole that needed to be flattened out. Pretty simple job. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members? Okay, I'm opening it up to the community for questions to our representatives. Lorraine?
Okay, Should I stand up there? Only because I'm short. Um, Aloha, I'm Lorraine Matangi, and my husband and I live back in Punaluu Valley with our daughter and her family. And the home next to us recently sold. And so this question will be for Chelsea, and I also think for Kat, because it involves permitting and also business license. The lot next door is just like ours. It is designated and zoned as residential Ag 2. The home next door sold recently for 1.830, $1,830,030. And they moved in on January 31st, and on February 10th began operating their business out of that home. Okay, and I have to hurry. It is being used as a quote health retreat. They are all from the mainland. I have the flyers. They didn't introduce themselves. We just happened to want to be good neighbors, and our daughter met them anyway. It is the first group came in on Tuesday, 15 guests. They can have up to 15, and it is $999 a piece. When this group leaves on the 17th, there's another group coming in on the 19th, and that will be $3,000 for shared rooms. It is a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom. 2 questions I have really fast to wind it up. They didn't come for a CUP because they haven't come to any of the board. They are not from here. They just bought and sold at the end of January and began their business February. So they haven't done their due diligence. The realtor must not have done his fiduciary responsibility. And are they legally licensed to operate a business in Hawaii? So those are my questions, Kat and Chelsea. I think it's really important that we nip this. I'm done. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Kat and Chelsea, are you able to respond? Or maybe Allegra, did you have a comment?
I can give you the address right now.
Can you please? That would be great.
53-416A Kamehameha Highway, Hauula, Hawaii. Now remember, all of us back on the private road on Punaluu Valley Road, we don't live on Kamehameha Highway, but our post office boxes are there. But it's actually on the actual Ko'olau Road, which is a private road, our section.
Okay, I'll pass that on to DPP. There could be either a zoning use violation, a transient vacation unit violation, a building or occupancy violation. So I'll pass that to DPP and I'll report back next month.
Thank you. And there should
Thank
be a short, they are an STR. It's 1 week at a time, 15
Right, yeah,
people.
that's right. The transient vacation unit is the same as the STR. So
Okay,
I'll forward that to DPP's investigators for follow-up.
Just a
Thank you.
question, are they residing at the home while people
No, as a
stay?
matter of fact, we went over there, our daughter went over and the owners were not even there. And there's the flyer I gave to Mike of what they've put out. They already had the advertisements out in January before they took occupancy.
Do you know about the acreage of the house?
Well, it's got to be about 5,000 square feet. It's got to be because it's Ag 2. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Do we have any more questions from committee members who are present?
I was trying to get
Oh,
another question in.
Go ahead.
Um, What is the size of the acreage? Is it? About 5,000. The acreage is 5,000. A half an acre. Okay. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
residential Ag 2. So the only business has to be an agribusiness.
Right. Right. And it's not. It's more like a bed and breakfast,
Pass this down once you're done with it.
a health retreat.
So Allegra. Okay, we're passing around the flyer right now. Okay, we have is this related, Evelyn? Okay, so Evelyn, we're closing that issue. Let's go. Evelyn, did you have a question? Go ahead. Come on up or take the microphone, whichever one you're comfortable with. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your meeting. And I want to thank the mayor's office and our city councilman And I'm hoping that Kat and Chelsea will share that the Department of Emergency Management is going to be coming out to the Kahuku community around the senior housing and the golf course area and do some vegetation removal and debris removal for the community. They're going to have a big work day, including Team Rubicon, and there'll be opportunities for people to come and learn about being safe and emergency management and fire-wise. And we're going to try to get some services out for people who might need to find housing and things like that. So want to thank the city and all the people who helped to get this done. This was been going on for a long time, and we've had tours and walks, and I appreciate everybody's help. I also want to thank Matt for voting against that bus pass. We really, our kids should not have to pay for a bus pass, and neither should people that are working and have to take a bus to go to work. And I would just like to thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. Appreciate it. And thank you to our representatives. Any other questions from folks who are present? Allegra has a question.
Sorry, Evelyn, just to clarify, is the spot you're talking about, it's like golf, is it in the golf course in Mormon Church area? Uh-huh. Okay, gotcha.
So the golf course up to Haula and then back towards the senior living right there. Okay. Okay.
Okay, do you feel like that will affect that homeless community at all?
Can you speak into
Sorry.
the microphone there, please?
Sorry.
Evelyn, thank you.
Well, I do believe it will affect the homeless community, and that is the reason why the last time I came to the board, I asked for us to be able to go out and do outreach to the homeless. And we have been letting them know that our community supports them, and now we're going to start sending some flyers with the outreach people that we're working with. And we're hoping that we can give them enough notice so that they'll feel comfortable and safe. And that's what the people who are going to come and do the work need to be comfortable and safe too. And we want everybody to be safe and it be a positive experience. We're not trying to move our houseless out of the community. We believe that these are people who have been here for a long time and they have family connections. It would be hard for them to transition to town.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, one more question. Are you looking for volunteers or?
We
Oh,
are. We're
okay.
looking for volunteers that want to come and learn about all the things that are happening. The volunteers are coming, and if you're a member of Team Rubicon, or if you'd like to volunteer, you can sign up to be a volunteer with Team Rubicon. It's free. And you can send donations to help pay for lunch and, refreshments for these volunteers to Team Rubicon.
So just look up Team Rubicon to find how to volunteer?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. So look on Team Rubicon on the internet and sign up. We encourage you. Thanks, Evelyn.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any questions from folks who are online? Casey, you have a question. Would you like to come online and share it with us?
Yeah, I have a couple. I didn't know how this worked. The first I wrote in was for Turtle Bay. Can both Mayor's Rep Kat and Matt Wire's rep tell us why DPP is allowing more development to go ahead at Turtle Bay when they haven't settled or dealt with any of the community benefits package for the community? This is supposed to run with the land. It's part of the unilateral agreement. They were supposed to work that out. So why in the world is development being approved and going ahead?
Okay.
And
Kat and Chelsea, do you want to respond to that before Casey shares her other questions?
I'll forward that to DPP.
Okay. Chelsea, you have any response?
Thank you. It's going to go to the same department. So
Okay. So we'll report on it next month. Thank
And,
you. Casey, go ahead, Casey.
And secondly, last fall asked about the homeless count because I wasn't going to be here. And it- who did the homeless count this year? And was it a success? And I'm understanding that IHS is the new outreach social workers for homeless for the area. Does anyone have the name of the person who is coming out, what day they're coming out, and their telephone number? That I hope all of our politicians have. And of course, the last homeless count said we only had 46 homeless from Kahaluu all the way up to Turtle Bay, and that's one of the reasons we don't have any services. So I pray that the January one went well and that you were all involved.
So does anyone among our representatives know how we can contact who does the homeless count? And Dottie, I think, may have an answer.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring the name with me, but IHS is doing this, and they are actually working with us to be housed in an office here in Hauula when they come out, so that they'll have places to meet with people who are houseless. And I can probably forward you, Casey, the name of the contact we have. There were 2 people in the group that I know of that come out from IHS, and I can get you their names.
Yeah.
You maybe
Thank you.
put in the chat what your phone number or
Sure.
your email address so I can send it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Casey, did you have any other
Mahalo,
questions,
Dottie.
Casey? Was that it, Casey, those 2? Okay. Do we
I'd
have
also
any other
like to know if what happened with Melikahana. There was someone who came out who was reorganizing the state park and wanted it to make it a big place for illegal vacation vans. And I didn't know if that was going forward or if we had stopped that or how to stop that.
Okay. Does anyone have any
He
response
made
to
a
that?
comment at one of our fall meetings. It
Okay, we
was
have a board member that's going to respond, Casey.
Thank you.
Aloha no kako. My name is Auntie Kella Miller, representing Laie, but I'm on the Malaikahana, myself and Pani Meatonga and Tessie Punoi Moana. The last time we met, it was just interviewing some of the people that was interested in the possibility of not taking over, but being one of the ones to run Malaikahana State Park. Malaikahana State. And so right now, we have 3 people that have been interviewed by the DLNR, and they have not made any selection as of yet. So I was going to report that tonight just to let everybody know that they have not made any selection yet, but we do have 5 applicants, and of the 5, there's 3 that was chosen for the next, and that's with the LNR.
Thank you, Auntie Kella. Lorraine?
Sorry, are they going to be using campers? No, but will they use campers? I think Casey's question was they were going to have campers, the camping vans.
So Kella says no. Wait, Kella, could you use the microphone?
No structure. There is no structure like they're going to build a camp. Is that what you're talking about?
No, they're talking about
No.
using vans.
No,
Yeah. Using
No.
vans or campers? No.
no.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. Allegra, did you have a comment?
Maybe can I clarify? Casey, there was someone who came from DLNR, I think, to talk about they were going to renovate some of the
Mhm.
buildings on the state side, not the private campground side. And they had talked about putting in camper van areas. Is that what you meant, Casey? Or did you mean the private side?
Yes, yes, that they wanted to put in for the state side, places for
So I think,
illegal, vacation vans in
I think that's
Melacahana. So
different.
that was something that I was like, oh my goodness.
So it's different than the private, like Castle
I
side.
believe
It's,
so. I believe that's
yeah.
what he was saying.
So Casey, are you talking about the state park, Malaikahana State Park?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, that's
yes.
different.
That's what he was talking about before, but we were running so late, we didn't get into it. But I don't want that to fall by the wayside.
So can we ask, Erica's not here, but I'm sure she'll listen to this. So Erica, when you feel better and you listen to this
Yeah,
with my
thanks.
sympathy, because listening to these long meetings, I'm sure you have many to listen to, but if you could follow up on that next time, that would be great. Thank you, Eric. Okay.
Mahalo. I'm
One
sure
more
others share
question.
my
I
concern.
think we should be at least aware of what the state parks are doing.
That's right.
Very much so. 'Cause
So
if they're,
if Erica
they are,
might
they
give us
should
an
at least come to the community already.
So they did come and do a.
They did come, State Parks did.
Yeah, from State Parks, they came and did a presentation, and I think he was waiting for things to be permitted, and then he said he'd be back to explain the rest, but I don't know when that will be. I can't remember his name, but
Yeah.
Alan
Thank you.
Carpenter. So he's gonna be, I think that was part of the plan overall. They're gonna, for those in need who have those, transportation stuff, homes, that they can do that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So let's move on. Jacob, did you have a question?
Yes. One question and one encouragement. The first one would be the encouragement, and this thankful for all
Jacob,
of
could you introduce yourself?
Jacob from Kuku.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
So my first one will be encouragement for Brenton Alva for his services to make Hawaii more resilient. Ever since COVID hit, it shows Hawaii how fragile since we're so reliant on tourism. Just want to thank him for his, service going that. The question will now it's going to be directed towards Sean's office or Lucy. When HDLT use or does road projects that uses state funds but not federal funds, that they have to go through the community that it's affecting, because most of these projects that go through, most of the times they'll just go through without letting the affected community know what's going on. And at the same time too, HDOT needs to put down or put who they talk to for improvements, because anybody could call up HDOT and say, I want this to be put in and I'm representing this community. They should come to a particular body, like for instance, Kolal board, and say, we got the whole Kolal body to agree for this improvement to go through versus, oh, the community just approved it without giving us who approved it. Because anybody could say who they are and say, or email or concerns, but that doesn't mean it's for the right thing for the community. So if you can have HDLT, one, make sure they talk to the right community body. And two, when they use state funds, not federal, state funds, because that's also part of their budget, that they have to talk to the affected community for their project to make sure questions, concerns at all adjourned versus starts, then they let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. Do we have any response from our representatives?
Thank you for letting me know. I will definitely put this in the report for Representative Quinlan and hopefully get back to you with a response from him next board meeting.
Okay. Any other response? Okay, thank you, Jacob. Do we have any other questions online or here? I'm sorry. Okay, let's do Andrea and then we'll go back to Ben. Andrea?
Yes, hi. This is a question for Senator Owa and also our other legislator who is not here, I guess. This is about Senate Bill 2760 and 2048. How are you voting on those? I want to have them be voted, I strongly support killing all the beetles, that are infesting our coconut trees, because I just wondered if the legislature is putting some more money in that now or not.
So these are legislative measures that are addressing the
Yeah,
beetle
Senate Bill
infestation.
2760 and 2048.
Okay.
They're money for the invasive species, not just the beetles, but definitely all, the kind that are causing havoc.
I think we have a response from Brenton.
Yeah, sorry it's dark. I'm driving at the pullover. CRB response, yeah, it's critical. I'm glad you recognize how much so it is. I don't think there's another legislator aside from Mike Gabbard and Tim Richards who are pushing harder for a solution, and Donovan Dela Cruz pushing harder for a solution. I can tell you that I haven't been here a while to update you guys with this, but for the longest time, we had no solution. All we can do is prevent. We've done a good job with prevention out at Haleiwa with our coconut trees. But other than injecting them with neonicotinoids, that was one of the bills we actually killed, by the way. Actually, no, not killed. Sorry, kept alive this time. Banning neonicotinoids, which are being injected into the trees. Anyway, long story short, we're about a year away, according to the Agribusiness Development Corporation, a state agency that's been tasked with getting the solution here. The solution comes from New Zealand. It's a virus. The reason why it's held up, why we can't use it here, is because one, we don't have a containment to rear it, and two, more studying is needed. The studying part's currently happening up at UH and with Department of Ag. The units that we need have been funded, and they're expected to be built up in Wahiawa within a year. That's what we've been told. Now, a year in state time could be like 2 years, but at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to CRB. When it comes to the bills, I started looking them up when you wanted to know what I was going to vote on them. But if it's funding for CRB, both prevention and solution, there's no question. It's a yes all day.
Thank you, Senator. Dottie has a response.
Yes, Senator, I would also like to underscore the need for continued funding for the little fire ant. We have a lot of that here in Hauula. It's all over the place. And we've been working very closely with DLNR, but my understanding from DLNR now is that the Department of Agriculture needs to start doing their part, and they're kind of in the process of turning it over to them. And I don't know if they have enough funding either. So I think everybody that's working on these tests are running out of money. So please check in with Department of Agriculture that they will do their part as well. We really need that because it's been ongoing here over the last year that we've had many teams come out and even spray by hand around people's homes, as well as with drones and things like that. So we continue to need that help. Thank you.
Loud and clear, Dottie. Same page as you.
Thank you, Senator. Evelyn, I'd like to bring the Q&A to close pretty soon because we have about 3 or 4 presentations that we need to get to as well. So Evelyn?
My question's about earlier when we were talking about the Melikahana Park. And I was wondering, is it a privately owned park or is it city and county? Both sides are state? Oh, thank you.
Okay, thank you. If it's okay, I'd like to bring it to close. Oh, Ben, I think you had one you had asked earlier, so let's just try to close with Ben.
So, there's a website called Kamehameha Highway Closure North Shore and East Oahu. Now, every time it floods, everybody on this side has to worry about the water overflowing in Waikani, Waihola area, right? And so this is what they look at. But the city and the city and county and the state should be coordinating something so that they have something out just as fast as these guys, because when they get over there, then they find out it's closed. And you gotta go all the way back around the island to get to work, right? And so it's been going about 30 something years. And so that's another thing the DOT needs to coordinate with the HPD and the city and county in making sure that some kind of notice goes out on social media immediately saying, hey, the road is closed, please take a detour, right? So that's what I'm asking for the DOT and the city and county to work together with HPD. Mahalo.
Any response
So
from our
I'll drop.
representatives? Go ahead, Kat.
Sorry, I'll drop a link in the chat. The City and County of Honolulu does have an HNL alert system where you can sign up for a specific region like olauloa, and you can ask for it to text you when there are road closures. So I'll drop our information on the HNL alert system into the chat.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Kat. Any other response? Okay, let's bring this to a close. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for our representatives for hanging in there. Nice job. And let's move on to our presentations. Okay, and thanks to our guests for waiting through this and being patient. Our first guest, I think, is Bob DeWitts, Executive Committee Chair of the Yabusame Hawaii 2026. And he will be talking about the Yabusame event at the Kualoa Ranch, Sunday, June 14th, 2 to 4 p.m.
Chair, members of the board and members of the community, thank you for allowing us to be here this evening. I am Bob DeWitts. I'm representing Honolulu Foundation. We're a nonprofit that for the past 20 years has been building cultural bridges between Japan and Hawaii by bringing to our communities here some of the lesser known elements of Japanese culture. And this year we have a really world-class, truly rare cultural event that we're bringing to the community. It's traditional Japanese horse-mounted archery, or Yabusame, and it is going to be held at Kualoa Ranch on June 14th. And we're here to brief you just because an event on your side of the island can be of concern.
And thank you, Bob. I meant to remind folks, we do have a 5-minute limit. Sometimes I forget to say that, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Next slide, please. So Yabusame is traditional horse-mounted archery, which would show you on the next slide. It's being presented by a family that has been teaching Yabusame to the shoguns and the samurai for 850 years. The 31st and 32nd generation masters will be here overseeing the event. Next slide. A little slow. Okay. We have, there's the family, the Ogasawara family that has been doing this for 850 years. Next slide. This is a short video. Yeah. No, show the video, please. But you might want to cut it. Just show the exciting part. Maybe go halfway. Okay. It's pretty quick. In the interest of time, so This is. The next slide. You get the idea. This is world class. It's very, very seldom seen outside of Japan. It's been in Helsinki, it's been in London, it's been in New Delhi. And 30 years ago, for the first time ever, it came to the United States, courtesy really of Olauloa Ranch, who were major sponsors enabling that to happen. And so this year, Olauloa Ranch is stepping up again to bring this to the community. Nobody's making money off this. It's by donation, really just a nominal donation, so we can keep track of how many people are coming. You can see that red line is the course. You're all pretty familiar with Olauloa Ranch. Importantly, Olauloa Ranch, in their wisdom, has asked us to put a visual barrier, that aqua-colored line along the road, so that you don't have the rubberneckers kind of slowing down and holding up traffic. So there'll be a tall barrier there, so hopefully it doesn't impact the traffic. Next slide, please. The gates will open at about 12:30, and there'll be a couple of hours of pre-event so that we can trickle in the people, so it doesn't all crush in at one time. The event itself from 2 to 4, and then it leaves. Some will be coming by bus, some by private vehicle, but we anticipate that it should have a minimal impact. Questions? Do we have any questions?
No. So I actually, I think it'd be great for bringing the Japanese tourists and other people to watch this in Hawaii, right? So I get that. And I also support what you folks are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is open to the public. It'll be on our website, honolulufoundation.org. After we have these community meetings tonight, we'll open it up and you can reserve a ticket.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Ben. Oh, you just did. Allegra? Go ahead.
Are you having like food vendors or anything like that there, or anything extra besides your foundation?
There'll be a couple of food vendors there, and probably some soft drinks and kind of minimal support like that.
Okay. Evelyn?
What was the website again?
honolulufoundation.org.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, folks. Aloha.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much for coming and for staying. Oh, Evelyn, she did. She just asked it. She wanted to know. And she asked for the website. Yeah. Okay. And we have Jacob has a question.
Quick question. So that's limited to only 500. Once you guys reach 500 tickets, it's sold out?
Yes. We were asked by the ranch to cap it at that number so that we don't impact too much.
Okay, Casey?
And thank you. Are you inviting, or will you invite some of our Kahuku high school or middle school children, students?
Actually, we need some children volunteers to participate in the ceremony. We'll dress them up in the ceremonial kimono and they can participate in the ceremony. And we're also looking actually for someone from this part of the island for some hula kahiko and to do a chant. So if you know somebody, we'd love to hear from them.
How would they contact you? Through the website?
Through the website, yep.
And that is again, could you give the website again?
HonoluluFoundation.org.
HonoluluFoundation.org. If you have any kid volunteers, you have anyone wants to do some kahiko dance, please.
So they haven't talked to the school
Or-
yet.
No,
So email info at
info at HonoluluFoundation.
HonoluluFoundation.org. Yeah, okay.
I have a question. So I'm sure you guys are gonna make sure that the traffic are taken care of.
That is first and foremost on Kulo Ranch's mind and ours. That the ranch is keenly aware of the traffic issues. So we're
Okay.
putting up that 800-foot visual barrier there to help.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Bob? Really appreciate you coming. Thank you so much.
Do we have to make a
Oh.
vote on it that we support it, or?
I don't think that's what you're asking for. I
Okay.
don't think it's necessary. I think they're just reporting it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Bob. So moving on to the agenda, Office of Hawaiian Affair. Micah, are you here? Micah, are you online? Nope. Okay. I think he's not here, so we're going to move on to Jim Hayes, Special Management Area Permit Application 57-321 Pahi Alua Street in Kahuku. Jim, take it away.
Hi, thank you, Chair. Yes, my name is Jim Hayes with Planning Solutions, representing the Powlin family. And I just wanted to share my screen real quick. I'll show you just briefly what we're talking about here. So let me see, share my screen. All right. So we're talking about the Pollen family dwelling. This is a single family dwelling. And let me get to the right slide. Why is it not advancing? There we go. The project location, Cavella Bay, Pahi Pahi, Alua neighborhood. So this is kind of opposite on the Haleiwa side of Cavella Bay from Turtle Bay. It's a relatively small parcel, 12,000 square feet. TMK numbers listed there, along with some other pertinent information. This is a residential area zoned R5, established back in the 1940s, been used for residential purposes since that time. There is an existing residence. I'll go to the next slide here about sea level rise. You can see the existing residence on the parcel. The parcel is in this red dashed line. And for those of you familiar with the sea level rise viewer generated by the University of Hawaii and State of Hawaii, this illustrates hazard areas related to sea level rise between now and the year roughly 2100. And so the blue shading is what they call the sea level rise exposure area, which are areas that can be affected by the high wash of waves, erosion, and other hazards. Then these, the green, yellow, orange, and red lines are associated with coastal erosion as modeled based on certain assumptions. We know that not all of those assumptions are accurate in this area because the area is underlain by coral, and the existing house, there's actually coral outcropping right at the existing house. So the coral outcrops take up well above the sea level in this area. This is the plan. So the existing dwelling would be removed and a new single-family dwelling with roughly 2,500 square feet of living area would be built. But the new building would be built as far Mauka on the property as possible. So it'll be right up against the 10-foot yard setback and distant from the shoreline. The shoreline is in the dash line at the top of the drawing. The existing dwelling is much closer to the shoreline than the proposed dwelling. The ground level will be consisting of parking, storage, and lanai space. The ground level cannot be used for living area due to the flood zone in the area. So the living area will all be on the second level above the flood zone base flood elevation. And my last slide is a rendering of the project. This is a view from Olauloa Place towards the shoreline, illustrating the ground level being, again, the garage and storage space, and then the second level being the living area. So the house is consistent with other homes developed in the area in recent decades. And that's the extent of our presentation. We're seeking a SMA permit. This will require a hearing by the Department of Planning and Permitting. The neighbors of the property will be alerted to that hearing. And then the DPP will forward their recommendation to the City Council. And there will be a City Council zoning hearing regarding the SMA permit. And so there'll be additional opportunities for people to provide their input both at the DPP hearing and the City Council hearing. So I'm going to go back to this so I can stop my sharing. Where's the button stop sharing? Okay, hopefully that worked. So available for any questions that people may have.
Thank you for that. Do we have any questions? Dottie has a question for you, Jim. Oh, Cowie first.
I'm curious why you're making this presentation to the neighborhood board at this time. Are you looking for permitting approval?
There's no requirement for the board to take any action. This simply is a requirement of the permitting process. So whenever anyone seeks an SMA permit major, they are required to do a presentation or at least request a presentation to the neighborhood board. And so we're fulfilling that requirement. We invited all of the neighbors to attend tonight's meeting. And like I've said earlier, they'll also be invited to the DPP hearing in the future.
That's great. Thank you. I was just curious if there would be any reason why we wouldn't approve of the permitting. Thank you.
I think that would be a very difficult question for Jim to answer, I think.
Yes.
So he's going to plead the fifth, I think, if there is. So, do we have any other questions for Jim? Evelyn.
The location of the house as it exists now is outside of Cavella Bay, but the inside of Cavella Bay is sort of behind it, it seems. Is that what I'm looking at? I'm not sure. And so,
yes. Yeah, so this parcel essentially faces northwest. And there are additional homes and additional parcels that are sort of more in Cavella Bay. So this parcel does not face Cavella Bay itself.
how far is it from Cavella Bay?
It's probably a matter of 100 feet or 150 feet or so, maybe a little more. There's two parcels between this one and Cavella Bay.
How soon is it expected that the tide will rise on both sides and then you'll be in the same situation? How much time?
Well, the area where the proposed dwelling would be built could be affected by annual high waves within the next 50 years. So that's like if there's a big storm, a hurricane, or something to that effect, a large swell from the northwest, you might see surf extend through the property in those kind of events, but that would be a rare event, but potentially happening periodically within the next 50 years. But the forecast is not for the site to be affected by sea level erosion. So the shoreline erosion is not anticipated to advance to the building site until after the year 2100.
With that in mind, I know that there's a lot of information about trying to pull back, and I think it's good that they're trying to pull back. I just wonder if they have enough space to do that in. That's just my question.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and the project is complying with all of the city's requirements as far as shoreline setback and flood and sea level rise exposure hazards. So one of those things is to move as far Mauka as you can. So yeah, that it is compliant in those regards.
Thank you, Jim. We have a question from Casey.
Quickly, in 1946, there was a 26-foot tsunami at Kahuku. Was this part of the land that was under the water, that huge tsunami? Because tsunamis are supposed to increase with climate change.
Yeah, I can't say actually. I don't know. Though there have a number of dwellings that have been in that area since the 1940s. I don't know if they were built before or after the tsunami, but there are a number of dwellings that date back to that time period in that neighborhood.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Any more questions? All right, thank you very much, Jim. Really appreciate it.
All right, yep, have a good night.
Good night to you. So let's go on. I want to just give an update on our planning process. So the board had a special meeting open to the public January 29th. And I think the idea is to develop some priorities, and we had a good discussion. I just wanted to give a quick summary of kind of where we are with that. What we want to do is in the next meeting, have a resolution that identifies these priorities and have public comment. But the board members, based upon their understanding and their listening to the community, identified 4 primary areas that are sort of overarching priorities. And one is infrastructure. It's a huge issue: roads, wastewater, power, flooding, emergency preparedness. Government transparency, flooding, not flooding, housing, and then jobs. What we want to do is populate these with some sub-priorities and very concrete projects. For example, we talked about concerns about the sale of Laie Water Company. We talked about the administration of Maui Kahana. We talked about the process and effectiveness of unilateral agreements and ensuring public benefits. We talked about something as concrete as a Hauula farmers market. So what we want to do is identify those priorities, begin populating that with specific things that we support, and then getting our subcommittees organized in such a way that they are working towards those particular issues and goals. We will be reviewing our subcommittee structure based upon those priorities. We may want to reorganize our subcommittees, and we'll be asking, I think, more of our chairs in the coming meetings to really try to facilitate some of these activities. One thing as a reminder is that you don't have to be a member of the neighborhood board to be on a subcommittee. So, for example, the young man who came here from the Hawaii Youth Transportation Committee, Luca, will be joining Ben on the Transportation Committee. That's kind of fun. I'm looking forward to hearing that. So keep that in mind. And if there's a subcommittee that you want to join, the next meeting will probably have a little bit more detail on kind of what we're going to be doing. We also asked the board members individually when they review those things and they review what the community needs to really, I think things don't really happen unless someone feels passionate about it, right? And I, give an example. Dottie is a wonderful example, right? Allegra is really interested in food security and entrepreneurship, right? So we identified these things that align with people's passions, and we're going to be asking them to really be specific about their contributions in those areas. So stay tuned for the next meeting. The board, I realize I was in a position of both facilitating the meeting and taking the minutes, and I haven't gotten you the minutes yet. So I'll get you the minutes, and I will get you a draft of a resolution, and we will do just a lot of one-to-one back and forth on trying to refine those before the next meeting and have a good open discussion. And the last thing I want to suggest, I just want to float this idea. Once we identify those priority areas, I'd like to float the idea of thematic meetings. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, so let's say we're going to work on infrastructure, right? Maybe it's at that meeting we have 2 or 3 presentations specific to an infrastructure issue. It could be learning from a lateral community. It could be asking a particular agency to come here and give us more information. It allows us to go a bit deeper, because I think one of the challenges of these neighborhood board meetings is we just end up kind of all over the place. And sometimes it's really hard to figure out whether there's any impact. That's not to say that just the community discussion and input isn't really important, because it is. Your voice, when you bring things up, community concerns, that is important. But we also want to be able to track our effectiveness. So stay tuned till next month. That's my presentation. Any discussion or any questions or comments? Please. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull up my notes. Okay. Infrastructure. And I named about, 5 subcategories there: roads, wastewater, power, flooding, emergency preparedness, government transparency, housing, and jobs. Now, when we present the resolution next month, it's going to be open for debate. So if you think it's missing something, if you think we need to change it, that's the whole thing about this process. We really wanted to reflect the community's priorities. So any other questions? I'm sorry? Casey, go ahead.
Who's
Casey,
working on jobs?
We haven't aligned the committees yet with the priorities. Okay. I'm going to guess that Allegra, because I think that's one of her passions. But I think what we need to do is really identify the priorities, and then I think we're going to reassemble the subcommittees. Okay. Any other questions about this? Awesome. Oh, Ben, go ahead.
Well, Casey brought up a very good point. Who's doing jobs, because Casey is excellent in bringing out what is available today, what is available. I mean, she's always up to date. And so on that committee, we want to look for those who are talented in those areas and use their expertise in helping us to formulate these plans. Wow.
I think it's a great suggestion, Casey. When we get to that point, you might want to consider joining a job or entrepreneurial subcommittee of the board. Yes, we're going to do that next. Okay. Any other questions about this? Okay. Let's do our committee updates. Do we have any committees that have updates? Okay, let's start with Auntie Kella from the what was it? Can you speak? Can you use the microphone?
This is in regards to just a follow-up.
This is the culture and the Parks and Recreation subcommittee.
I don't know if it comes under the Parks and Recreation there, because that's Malaikahana State Park.
Right.
But this is Malaikahana that is on the other side of Malaikahana State Park. We met about a month ago. Pani and I are on the committee with DLNR in making a selection for the Malaikahana. And so we've had 5 applicants, and out of the 5, we have 3 left. The DLNR has not made a selection as to who will be taking over Malaikahana. So that's what I just wanted to report.
Thank you, Auntie Kella. Any other? And then we'll do. Okay, sure. Go ahead. Any questions for Antikella?
The decision-making with the LNR, did they put out for an RFP on the opportunity?
Yes, they did.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. And we try to make sure that they follow, and not only that, to make sure that whoever does have an idea of what the community has been wanting to do, like camping and getting to go to fishing, allow fishing again to go there. And so the applicants were really good, but we ended up with 3, and hopefully because they're from here, in our area. So yeah, we're very happy with that.
I
Great.
have,
That's it for Antikella. Okay, Dottie, your subcommittee?
okay.
Why don't you jump in, Poe?
Okay. I want to bring up 3 things. Some fun coming up is going to be our olauloa. That's going to be March 28th, and we can't wait. So please come out if you have services you want to provide or want to talk about or do outreach. We're going to have some outreach tents. We're going to have a lot of great vendors selling things, food, and we're going to have the brothers back. And they work so well with kids. And we're going to have an Easter egg hunt. So bring all the children. So our Easter egg hunt has been a really popular thing. So second thing I want to mention is Trek. Trek is a subcontract we have here at Hui Olauloa. Trek stands for Training for Residential Energy Contractors. And this is a great opportunity for young people who want to better their jobs. It's free. It's just a few days. They can go through all of these wonderful trainings. I could rattle them all off, and we're going to do it right here in Hauula. So these trainings will really help people, whether you have a contractor's license now or you don't have any experience, but you want to get into contracting. And this is a hot area. The reason the state is actually sponsoring this was a federal project. And so they have really wonderful trainers that are doing the training for these programs. So if you know of anybody that might be interested, please let me know. I'd love to help them. And the third thing is, remember the walking path presentation we had the other day? Well, I'm hopping on that walking path and writing grants for that walking path. And we're going to work on this in Hauula. And if you have any great ideas, please come talk to me sometime and support in whatever way you can. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dottie. That's really exciting. So we're sort of mixing up committee reports and board announcements and so on. So I think that's okay. So Ben, go ahead.
So the Transportation Committee, we've talked about those earlier, and we're going to try to follow up with the same groups, DOT, city and county and state, as well as Board of Water Supply, so we can get some kind of communication going and get that thing fixed. Malo.
Okay, awesome. I just want to follow up on one thing. At the minutes of the last meeting, we had next steps in advocacy. Dottie did a presentation on Green Fee Advisory Council, and we had talked about asking the chairs of Resilience and Transportation to co-draft a resolution in support of the green fee proposals that you had made. Is that right? So maybe we can have that at the next meeting. Okay. Okay, that would be great. Any other committees, Allegra?
I guess this is under the Food Security Committee, but kind of also a community announcement. I think I had talked about this last, or maybe in our sub meeting. Yeah. That at the Kahuku Sugar Mill, they're going to start renovating, and they have already started renovating. And a big part of that is they're creating a marketplace with small, I guess like kiosk trailer type things that they are providing for the community members or, businesses to come and have a little shop there. So it'll be like a little marketplace. I should have brought a map, but there'll be two little sections of marketplace. We're thinking maybe the first phase is like 30 to 40 vendors, and then maybe a little bit more after that. And this will be a mix of food, retail, like some experiential, like a jewelry making class, something like that. But wanted to reach out to any entrepreneurs who might want to have a I feel like this is kind of the first of its kind in this area where it's there's a lot of retail space available. So if there are entrepreneurs who want to be in this space, they're definitely looking to have locals, you know, from Laie, Hauula, Kahuku area first, I guess.
Who would they contact?
They can contact me.
So you can contact Allegra. Allegra, how do they contact you?
Allegralund@gmail.com or
So LUND at what Gmail? Is that you said?
Allegra, ALLEGRA LUND@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. So reach out to her if you have
My
any questions or.
line, I think too.
Yeah, it's all in line. Okay. Any questions for Allegra? Any comments?
We do have a representative here from the Kahuku Sugar Mill. This is Andrew over here, and he is helping as well as fill the spots. Yeah, so you can also
Thank
reach out
you.
to him as well.
Thank you, Andrew.
But
Awesome.
if there's any more questions or people want more information, we can definitely do like a report or a report or something next time. But yeah, let me know.
Could you bring us a little bit more information next time?
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be great. Maybe as part of, or as part of the committee reports too, either way. Okay, that would be great. Get that in a minute so I don't forget. Casey?
Yeah, I
Did
have
you
a question about the sugar mill. Is the retail focused? Is it for tourists? So is it more touristification, or is the retail focus for residents? Is it for residents' needs, or are you focusing on the tourist community? Usually the tourist industry has the lowest paying jobs of any industry in a major industry in the US, and Hawaii's is the lowest. So is that what you're promoting? More tourism and more focus of retail stores for tourists, or are you focusing for retail jobs, businesses that support the local community?
Thank you. Can Allegra or Andrew, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, this is a great question. It's a huge focus on local entrepreneurs being able to have a space to sell their goods, and I think that'll probably be to tourists and to locals. But I forgot to say this part about the Food Security Committee. We are securing a space for local farmers to be able to bring their goods all year round, every day of the week, so that locals can come and get goods and food that is grown on our side of the island right here, and it's less money because it's not shipped and you're getting it here from them. So that's a big win there, having that, but also, yeah, we have local farmers who make products like noni juice or turmeric shot or, juices. It's like stuff like that. So it's a huge focus on local entrepreneurs having a space to sell their goods. And there's another huge community focus. They're going to have like a kids play area. They'll have covered seating area. So it should be a place that locals come to. We're going to have local events such as movie nights or concerts of local musicians, stuff like that. So it is a huge focus on, how we can support local entrepreneurs as well as just like a place that locals can go that is safe and fun to be.
Awesome. Thank you, Allegra. Thank you. Any other committee reports? Go ahead, Ben.
So the other thing we brought up at that meeting that we had was the business hubs. They have one in Kaka'ako, and we would like to bring one down this side.
What is that again? I'm sorry.
The business hubs.
The
with-
business hubs.
Yeah, so
Okay.
when entrepreneurs are able to meet, they're so packed at home that they need their own space. And so we wanted to probably work with you or somebody else on creating a business hub where people can meet, they can, get their ideas out and, do whatever they need to do to start a business. Thank you.
Okay, this is the type of thing where when we populate those priorities, we don't want to stick stuff in there just to stick stuff in there. It's stuff that the community supports clearly, right? That benefits the community and that someone's going to follow up on. But that's an example that it could be something like that. Allegra, go ahead.
Yeah, a business hub. I did find a potential location for it. It's owned by HRI, so I'm still figuring out if it's available for this use, but it's a big warehouse that's behind like the old Tackle Fresh building. And I know they haven't secured a tenant for it, but we would probably have to get a grant or something to start it up as a business hub. But I feel like that's one of the only like locations that we might be able to do. But yeah, we might be able to talk to Kahuku Sugar Mill and see if they would be interested in something like that as well. But yeah, I'll keep on that one.
Okay. There are a few board-related things that I'd like to bring up. One is our homeless working group. We're going to meet on February 19th. I think Harold is part of that, Sonia. I think people are comfortable meeting here, is my impression. I'll be happy to bring lunch. And I'll have to coordinate with Dottie about space. I know. Well, if not, we'll find another neutral space and a nice space to meet. So I just wanted to make that announcement. We are following up on that. What did we say? What time did it would be lunch around noon? Yeah, I think that's what we talked about. Is that right? I'll send a notice out to the board and to those who are part of the working group. We have an invitation to participate in a tour of HECO. There are multiple other neighborhood boards that are going to be participating. They have 25 slots, 13 are filled. It is April 25th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's a good time to get a sense of where they're at and their facilities and also raise any concerns or issues. Are there any board members that would like to participate? Okay. Who else? That's good. Yeah. Okay, great. And then that's it. That's all I have to say. So any community concerns? Anything anyone wants to raise at all?
I think one of maybe it's all of olauloa, but the traffic and the speed bumps is, I don't know if that's really helping.
The traffic and the speed you mean the speed bumps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have had like a lot of traffic things going on at the same time, traffic closures and stuff happening at the same time. I think it was Wednesday, wait, what's today? Tuesday, there's 3 closures all at the same time happening. And it was right around school time. So it really, we took us about 45 minutes to get to Haula to the shopping center and Foodland.
I
and
counted
then-
7 closures at one time going to Kaneohe. Yeah. My suggestion is if Kella or Allegra or maybe Ben bring this up at the next meeting when our government representatives are here, because there's not much we really can do about it unless Ben wants to draft a resolution or follow up in some way. But go ahead.
One more thing, I'm not sure if everybody likes these e-bikes, but they're getting very bold, like racing right across the road.
Yeah.
I think I almost hit one person just going home from the Marriott, going home. And I did not see it come flying out. No, there's a roadway out there right next to the Marriott, but they were right on the road. And I'm just wondering, these guys are just getting more bold and more bold. There needs to be something to get these e-bikes. I mean, if they're using it properly, yeah, but they're not. So I'm not sure if who we need to talk to about that, you know?
I think this is another thing we can bring up to the government representatives. This is going to be in the minutes, but let's be sure to bring both of these things up at the time. Also, we should discuss it with HPD. It has come up several times. And speed bumps, I sometimes think there's a rule we can't finish a meeting without the speed bumps coming up at least once, you know. And I think it's understandable because they are, you know, it's really a challenge for folks. So is there any other community concerns? Etelina, go ahead online.
Hi, everyone. So my only concern is about is it a marketplace that's happening at the Kahuku Sugar Mill? And if Elaine is there, maybe she could help me. But one of our meetings at the Kahuku Community Association, our community members did address that they weren't really on board with it because it would create more traffic, more tourists, and it wasn't aligned with what community members wanted. I know that they came and they said this is for the community, by the community, but none of our community members were involved in the planning of this marketplace.
Allegra?
Is this, I know there was a meeting maybe like 3 to 5 years ago that I didn't attend. Is that what you're talking about though? Or is this more recent meeting?
I think it was more last year.
Oh, more last year? Okay. I think, okay. I think this is maybe, I know that last year there were different, lease owners of the land. And so they had a project that they were doing and it did not happen. And so now there are the landowner, Adam Lee, and he has another project manager on it. So it is a different project than that, the one that was happening 1 year ago. If you would like there's kind of 3 partners in this project. If you would like a presentation or something like that, the Cougar board, we'd love to chat. I am a local business owner at the sugar mill and just kind of been trying to see the project as a community resident and help them keep the values of the community. But we'd love to hear any feedback, any wishes or wants or desires, or even opposition, just to understand, and make it bono with the community. So if is that something that you could work with?
That would be great.
In fact, I would be uncomfortable as a board to endorse it if the Kahuku Community Association was not endorsing it. So I think that's kind of the way that we operate. So before the board actually really comes out in any favorable statement about that, I think we need the buy-in of the Kahuku Community Association. Okay, any other questions or community comments or?
Last week or last month, it had come up, a few questions a community member had asked about Corazon. It's called El Corazon. Maybe I should have brought this up with the representatives, but just like that, the residents of Corazon are parking outside on Hau'ula on Hau'ula Homestead Road, and it's just been a hazard. And they're still there, and nothing's really changed about it. Is there something we can do to talk to Corazon about it, or?
We actually have the representatives right here, if you folks want to address that.
Hello, my name is Robert Zuckerman. I'm with Pearl and Brian. So thank you for our being able to join you this evening. And in the future, we're going to try and have representation. I'm not going to make it in person. I live on the west side, but if I can join in online, that would be good. And as far as that issue with the parking on the street, so Corazon we're a nonprofit, Corazon Hawaii. We're contracted with the state. We have a contract, and contract stipulates things, which is often in these type of properties, people don't have the proper documentation for their vehicle, they cannot park on our property. Thus, where do they park? So that becomes an, my kind of logically thinking it through, it would be a city and county issue then. And that's really the police. If somebody really is upset, then the police.
I guess my question, and it's come up several times, is that if we're helping people in transition, is part of the support to help get their vehicles legal?
Yeah, so I think that the problem that we're facing, sorry, my name is Pearl.
Hi, Pearl.
I am the office manager and operations over at Corazon. I'm on property, this line, our project manager, we're there 24/7. The proper documents, meaning they don't either have insurance, they don't have a driver's license, they don't have safety check. So all of the documents that the state require us to have while traveling the highways. And we have been working with legal aid to try to work with these families.
Okay.
But to be honest, there's a lot of roadblocks that they have that we don't have control over, and it's between them and the courts.
I understand. I do have one question though, is I run Howella Homestead Road sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. I have never seen a car parked in those stalls before. Yeah,
Down on the property.
no.
Yeah, so the residents cannot, for these reasons,
Okay,
the state requires anybody who parks on the premises, because we're under a state contract,
okay.
to have a valid driver's license,
I
registration,
understand.
safety check,
Yeah.
and insurance.
So 100% of the people who stay there who have cars have
Yes.
cars that are out of compliance.
Yes, I remember what kind of families we're dealing with.
Okay, I understand.
So-
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Go ahead, Ben.
But we are working with them. We are trying to help our families get
Appreciate that.
the
Thank you.
documents that
Yeah,
they
yeah. I understand.
So
Yeah. Ben, go ahead.
I think there would be a state issue with the lead agency in that, in making the contract so it's user friendly to those that are staying over there. And I think we need to work on that part, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it does seem, I mean, I don't know if there's a liability issue that can be dealt with in some way, but I think that's a good question. Is there a way to create an exemption because it's a homeless or a transitional shelter? Okay, Atalina, I think was Atalina, do you have a question?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments about this? I mean, I think that's actually a really good question to ask our representatives next time. And so let's keep that on. Like, I don't know, Ben, if you could make a note of that, because it is sort of a transportation issue. So whether we can ask, is there a way to create an exemption given the particular service population for parking? Because essentially what you're saying is you're putting them in a home, but you're saying, I'm sorry, you can't park there, right? So let's see if we can find a way to protect Corazon and allow people to park there. Yeah, okay. Do we have any other comments or questions before we finish? Okay, we have to approve the minutes of the next meeting. Yes, any second, Dottie, seconds, all in favor? Aye, done. I think we are finished. Okay, we are done. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you everyone for your good work. Nice to see your shining faces and see you next month.